Hello ladies and gentlemen, we are expanding our multilingual plugin for localization of websites, Convey This, and I invite you to participate in this project and help us to translate it by the end of this month into 30 plus languages. In this tutorial, I will show you where the plugin is located. It's on WordPress directory, and when you are looking to participate in a project, you need to scroll down to the languages section and click on translate into your language link. It shows the list of languages which are currently complete, which is Spanish for Spain, Spanish for Mexico, Spanish Venezuela, Russian, partially Italian. The rest of the languages are still in red. So your job as a participant is to click on the language that you are translating and submit all the strings for development README, for stable, and for stable README. So in this case, all the text strings will be in a waiting status. That means that the administrator has to review them and approve them if they are correct. In my example, we will work with Polish language, and I will show you how to use the Google Translate to facilitate and speed up the process. So I'll click on this Polish language in the bottom of the list, and this takes me to the page where I can see development trunk, development README, stable, and stable README. So let's click on untranslated. This is the column you need to be working with untranslated. Let's click on the first link. The first link shows us that we have 14 strings untranslated. In order to start suggesting your translations, you need to create a WordPress account. This is free. You can register using your email, confirm your email, create the password, and you're good to go. So I'm already logged in, so I need to just double click on this field. It opens up the actual source text. Click on copy original, press Ctrl A to select the entire string, then press Ctrl C to copy that string into your memory, and then go to Google Translate. Drop it here, but in our case we're going to work with Polish language, so change the language pair to Polish. Okay, so let's put it back here. This is the Polish translation. Once you get this, copy on this icon, copy translation, and then go back to your previous tab and do the Ctrl V while the previous text is still selected, and click Suggest button. Before you commit these translations, make sure that the name of Convey This Translate stays unchanged, because this is the actual name of the brand. It's not the translatable. Okay, so let's show you another string. Appearance and menus. Sometimes you can encounter this strange characters like and, sign, and GT, and parentheses, semicolon. Do not remove that. This has to stay verbatim without any changes. So select this string, remove the previous, go to Google Translate, remove the previous string, and sometimes Google Translate is not able to properly work with these characters. That's why we use the fallback translation agent, which is the Microsoft Bing translator. So let's go to Bing. I will show all the links in the description to this video. Click Ctrl V to paste this translation, and from the drop-down select Polish language. If they have it, sometimes Bing has less languages than Google. You see, Bing didn't change the special character, which is a huge plus, which sometimes makes me believe that Microsoft Translator is now taking a lead in terms of the quality machine translation. So I did copy this back to my menu, click suggest, and it's good to go. So if the reviewer will be reviewing these translations, they will be paying special attention to special characters, because special characters is the bread and butter of the system. It displays those additional variables. So the rest is the plain text translation, which is simple to do, but I would like to show you another case which could be you'll be stumbling quite often. So let's click on that. So let's show you another case. Okay, let's click on development readme trunk, which has 129 untranslated text strings. And let's look at the complicated cases. The complicated case is like this. So let's click, double click, click on copy original, then do Ctrl A, Ctrl C, and paste it to Google Translate. Google Translate is the first choice. If Google Translate fails, use Bing Translate. Okay, so Google Translate refuses to accept this as original translation, so use the fallback case, the Bing Translate. Bing Translate is a little slower, but they didn't stumble on this error at least. So I can do I can copy entire thing. Don't use the mouse like this, because your string might be very long and you may accidentally miss certain characters. So just use these icons such as copy. Click on a copy, it automatically copies the whole thing, and copy and paste this. But the problem with Bing Translator, they're using some kind of wrong encoding for their translation. So if I suggest it now, it likely throw in the error. No, it accepted without any errors. But for weird languages, not weird language, but excuse me for my language, for some more complicated languages such as Japanese, Chinese, Arabic, Bing and Microsoft Translator could be doing not well. That's why when you see such language, you must, when you copy translation back into the field, you need to also select the entire link. This is the hyperlink. It starts with the unequal sign A and finishes with the unequal sign A. So you do Ctrl C and you look up the part of the Google Translate and replace it Ctrl C, Ctrl V. So this way, this encoding would be verbatim translated into the translation, into the segment. Okay, so that's one of the cases. Another case we could consider is something that entails the special characters. So let's look at the untranslated. Oh, this is the very common one. It has the special tag strong. So let's copy this into Google Translate. Again, the error. Oh, I didn't copy this properly. So copy, Ctrl C. Okay, so this is copied over. See, Polish probably will not give you many errors. When you will be translated other languages, you might encounter these errors. So let's see more complicated cases. Because the rest is easy, just do copy and pasting into the translator. I want to show you the cases where you can stumble and feel a little bit frustrated. Because obviously I don't want you to be frustrated, I want you to be successful, efficient, So you can quickly complete this assignment, and we can roll out all the 30 languages as quickly as possible, guys. Okay, so this might be a good one. Let's do this segment. Has a lot of weird characters, you see. Let's do copy original, go into Google Translate. Google Translate refused to work, it gives you the error, so let's go to fallback engine Microsoft. Microsoft reluctantly translates that, and we go back to the WordPress. We copy this, but before I submit it, suggest, since the encoding might be messed up, I select the whole thing with a hyperlink, starts with A and finishes with A. I do Ctrl+C, and I submit and replace this part also with this link. So this way it will go in smoothly, so nothing will be changed, because this is the result information. It does not relate to the translation of the segments. So far so good, guys. If you have any questions, you're welcome to leave comments under this video, so we could help you out as you go. Okay, sometimes you can encounter a string like this. It has nothing useful to translate, so sometimes when you see it like this, you just copy and suggest straight up into translation. It has to be unchanged, so don't change it. Do not commit more errors than you have to. Sometimes the string could look like this. It's the URL, and only last name says something inside of it. So you copy, Ctrl+A, Ctrl+C, go to Google Translate, and then the URL has to stay the same. It's just information in parentheses has to change. So do copy, paste, suggest. So when the reviewer will be reviewing those translations, they'll be more likely accepted, because machine translation does a pretty good job nowadays. So the only problem you can have is the translation of the special characters, which I'm showing you how to do. Okay. So this is the bulk of it. But I really want to show you some errors. Oh, this is, for example, YouTube video. YouTube video is not translated either. So when you see the link to YouTube video with special characters, just leave it like this and click on suggest. This way you can go easily through all the segments and translate them. So let's go back to our translation plugin, and let's go to more complicated language such as Japanese, and I can show you some big errors which you can encounter in other languages. Let's click on a stable readme untranslated, and here let's look up for the complicated cases. Complicated cases where Google Translate can really spoil the translation. Okay, let's look at this strong character, HTML tags. Let's copy this, go to Google Translate, paste here, and put here as a target language Japanese. So it does change it. Oh no, it's not this one. It's this one. We change that into Japanese. So I can immediately see the error, but I want to give you a second to think about what's wrong with this translation. On 1, 2, 3. Ready? Okay. So the error here, if I submit this string, the WordPress is going to give me an error. They reject this translation because they expect closing tag strong, but I got one space in that tag. You see, the original had this, and my translation had extra space. So what you should do is to copy the original and suggest it without any spaces, and only then it will go in. So that's how you fix some of the problems. This one, for example, the special characters for the email. You go again to Google, translation error, let's go to Bing. Bing translates this to Japanese in its own way. So we copy paste it, but now if I'm trying to submit this, it's going to give me again the error because the hyperlink is not maintained properly. You see, the original was a space href equal, but the translation came in like this same without spaces. So unfortunately, Bing and Google, they mess up the characters, so you need to copy the entire string of special characters, do Ctrl V and then suggest. And this one goes in smoothly. So that's how you do the translation. One last thing I want to show you, and then we can finish this video so you can start working. Let me look up some difficult strings. Let's look up like this. No. No. Okay, probably not in Japanese language. Let's use Arabic. The most complicated, in my opinion, language because it goes from in the other direction, in opposite direction. So we have untranslated strings. Let's look into that. Oh, okay. So here we go. This is the feature I was talking about. So the original has these special characters like this. So we need to select this, go to in Google, select Arabic, and this is your translation right there. So the problem with this is the special character is %s. Here the %s S has the space. You need to copy this, replace this without a space. So copy what's on top and paste it there. This one doesn't even have the percentage sign. So S went there, but percentage went here. So you want to remove the percentage. Oops. It's a little complicated, so paste it like this. Oh. As upgrade and save it. So the special character was saved. See, the original had a special character S, upgrade your plan, percentage sign S, and translation is S percentage S. So this one has to be percentage S in the beginning of the string, because this is how the software works. It replaces the characters. Duck. What else is here? Placeholder is missing. Okay. So you guys help me out with this left to right languages. They're the most bizarre for me to handle. So you need to be, your job is to preserve those special characters in the Arabic translation. So that concludes the rest of the tutorial. So as you can see, it's mostly easy job. You just copy and paste the strings. There could be some difficult cases with special characters, but if you watch this video completely and thoroughly, you could see that this is easily fixable. Just copy and paste the original and replace it into the right places. And that's it. So pick up the language and go for it. Suggest these translations, then we will ask the moderators to review them, and if you did a good job, they'll be all published and the plugin will have multiple languages available. This concludes the tutorial. Thank you for watching and good luck in your assignment.